99X. Take me out to the ball game. It's Barnes and Leslie. Opening day, of course, for the Braves. We're talking about the new system that won't be in the season yet, but it's coming, the automated ball strike system. Phones are blowing up like crazy with opinion. You know who we should call? We should call someone who has stood on that mound in an Atlanta Braves uniform and thrown the last pitch that won the World Series in 1995.
Brilliant.
What?
Let's call Whoa Daddy.
Yes.
Oh, no way.
I mean, it wasn't set up, but man, hell, he was on our show every single freaking day. I mean, every week for how long?
That's a great idea.
Hang on, I'm looking up his number because I don't have it memorized.
Great
obviously,
idea.
but he's out. He sells homes now out there he's out in the Woodstock area for Keller Williams. Mark Wohlers versus Jimmy Barron in a sell-off. I think that would be.
That's a new series, by the way.
I know.
It's a limited series.
And I haven't seen Mark in a couple of months. Come on, hope he's there.
Good morning.
Whoa, Daddy.
What's going on?
Hey, it's all of us. It's me and Leslie and Crash. You're live on the air, so don't cuss like you always do.
Hey.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
I do appreciate the heads up. I'm about to drop some serious F-bombs.
You're probably in the middle of selling a lot of homes, but were you listening to the radio just now?
Dude, how could I not be listening? I listen to you guys every morning.
Thank you.
About the automated baseball umpires stuff.
Well, and I don't even know why I didn't think to call you in the first place, but you heard all the fans talking about it. Some are for, some are against. And if you're just tuning in, they were trying this out in the spring games, this automated system that would call the balls and strikes, and then you could, say, I called BS, and then they would go back and review it, but you only had so many reviews, whatever. But what do you think of the overall thing? Like, are you good with it as a former pitcher?
I'm somewhat hesitant because the last round of rules changes, I wasn't for, and then they turned out to be halfway decent, trying to speed up the game and stuff. I'm a big fan of, like, the human element. I mean, umpires make mistakes, and they're just like everyone else. And, I mean, what's next? Are we just going to have robots, playing the game so everything's perfect? I mean, baseball's an imperfect game, and sometimes umpires make mistakes. But at the same time, I get it. You want every call to be correct, but, like, borderline ball or strike, you're going to delay the game just to, see if a computer gets it right. I don't know. Initially, I'm not a fan.
You only have so many times that you can, challenge it. But, Mark, the stakes are so high. I mean, someone like you who won the World Series and got that nice fancy check that comes with it, I would think if it was accurate, that the strike zone was accurate as opposed to, come on, you can't tell me when you would walk out to pitch and you saw who the umpire was that you didn't feel some kind of way, one way or the other.
Oh, yeah. You definitely knew the umpire strike zone, without a doubt. There are some guys, we called them pitchers umpires or hitter umpires. And, when you had a guy out there that had a big strike zone as a pitcher, you were in favor of it. But over the course of 162 games, I think, if you have one or two challenges in a game, I don't think it's going to have a dramatic outcome, at the end of the year. I mean, maybe implement it a little bit in the postseason, which, I'm sure you'd have to, test it during the regular season. But my initial reaction is I'm just against it, I'm just, but I mean, we'll see how it goes, we'll see how it goes.
Sounds
I just
skeptical,
think that,
Barnes.
Yeah, he does, man. Whoa, Daddy. Very skeptical. I would have thought you would have liked
very
it.
skeptical.
I like knowing here is the rule. Like, get it here and you get a strike.
Yeah. Well, look, I get it. I understand it, but then, I don't know. I just think, you're taking the human element out of the baseball game. It's kind of like, the NFL, sometimes it's tough to say, Barnes. It really, until I see it happen and how it messes with the flow of the game. Right now, when you're out there and you're a pitcher and, there's a challenge of a play and you have to wait 2 or 3 minutes in between challenges. I mean, as a pitcher, you don't want to have that downtime in between pitches. So I'm just not a big fan of slowing the game down.
But, Mark, what about those calls where it's like, us as a viewer, whether we're at the game or we're watching at home in TV, and it's clearly like a missed, like it's way outside the strike zone, and it's a call 3, and it changes the entire inning. I mean, what about something like that that's just so obvious?
I get it, because in 97, we had an umpire behind the plate, Eric Gregg, and Levon Hernandez with the Marlins had like 2 or 3, it seemed like 2 or 3 feet outside. You can... There's YouTube videos on how horrible the strike zone was. But at the same time, as long as they're consistent, I really don't care. If they're calling pitches, a foot outside, I feel like as a pitcher, I can throw a pitch a foot outside and hopefully get the same call. I just want them to be consistent, and, baseball, it's imperfect and humans are imperfect. So I think it's a perfect match, but like I said, it's a wait and see. I didn't like the speed up rules with the pitch clock and, some of those other rules. And it turned out, I am in favor of it now. So I don't know. Well, to me, it's a wait and see, but my initial reaction is no thanks.
I'm with Mark Wohlers, Barnes.
All right, whoa, Daddy. So opening day today, you going to be getting down to any games?
I'd definitely like to get down there. I got some contacts I need to make to get some tickets, but it's going to be an exciting season this year. Can't wait to get down. Yeah.
You won the World Series. You think they're not going to let you in? I think you can come in.
Listen, I know I can get in, but they also have a certain allotment tickets for the alumni, so I got to make sure I get on that list.
Are you going to wear your uniform?
Probably so. I usually wear it several times a week. So chances are I'll have it.
That could be your shtick with Keller Williams. You need to go, full on, cleats and everything.
I know it. And bring my gloves to listing appointments. That's not a bad idea.
If you're going to compete with people like Jimmy Bear and Keller Williams, you need to come with an edge, a hook.
What does Jimmy bring? Does Jimmy bring a microphone to his?
He's giving away guitar lessons at his closings, Mark.
Puts him over the edge.
Mark.
Maybe I could give away pitching lessons.
Yes.
That might be something.
You need to start. Screw this Jimmy Barron guy. I don't want to see his name at the top of any lists anymore. I want to see Mark Wohlers up at the top.
I need to bring you on board for my marketing stuff because I don't do a really good job of exploiting the fact that I played here for a while in Atlanta. So
well, that's because I know because you're sitting on the bag, bruh. You can't get motivated when you're back in the room counting your money from the World Series win.
Oh yeah. For the World Series from 30 years ago, yeah. that money's still hanging around between 2 market corrections and a divorce.
Crash. The best story about Wohlers is when Mark left the Braves. He calls me up and he goes, "Come get all this stuff," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He gave me every one of his team issued jackets,
really,
and jerseys, the whole thing. Mark, you want that stuff back now? You feeling better?
No, that's fine. You can keep it.
And it's XXL, so it was a little big.
I don't have that Porsche anymore. Remember, when I got traded to Cincinnati, I let you keep my Porsche while I was out of town just to keep it running. And I came back, and there was I was gone for 4 months, and there was 75,000 miles on it.
No, you were gone for a year. I had that car for a year.
75,000 miles, really, Barnes?
No, it wasn't. Barnes took good care of it.
I took it. That thing was $180,000 convertible.
No, it was not.
Dude,
maybe today's market, but this was what, late 90s?
That was a 911 convertible something. And you just were hold on to this. I'm like, hold on to it.
Mark, the biggest question is, do you still have your Barnstormer softball jersey?
Oh, gosh, I do not.
That's a great shirt.
Those celebrity softball tournaments were awesome.
That was so much fun.
eBay. Anyway.
All right, whoa, Daddy, it was great to catch up with you. Sorry you're not down with the ABS, but it's coming, I think.
Yeah, probably so.
All right, dude.
Probably so. We'll wait and see to me.
How can people find you if they want to have you represent them in a home buy or sell?
Just markwohlers.com, baby.
Markwohlers.com, baby. All right, dude. We'll talk to you soon.
Or majorleague.homes.
Majorleague.homes?
Yep.
Any more you want to throw in before we cut loose?
That's pretty good.
It's got a lot of URLs. All right, man. We'll see you, Mark. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Whoa, Daddy. Let's go back to October 28th, 1995. A young Mark Wohlers on the mound. Game 6 in the World Series. The Braves ready to clinch it. And let's go to Costas for the pitch.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 99X.
What's up, everyone? It's Trevor Sikkema here from the PFF NFL Show, here to get you ready for the 2025 NFL Draft. We're dropping PFF podcast episodes 3 times a week with the rankings, sleepers, team fits, mock drafts, and more, powered by the same data used by all 32 NFL teams. If you want a deeper insight into this year's class and how it all shapes up on draft day, we've got you covered. Become a smarter draft fan right now on the PFF NFL Podcast. The PFF NFL Podcast, part of the Believe Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.